Andy from FPG, and I want to show you some detail on how to attach multiple blankets to your adapter shade panel. So I'm out in the middle of Mojave Desert. Mark from Conframe has been generous enough to let me hook up to his Oasis sustainment trailer. So I'm going to show you, we've got two staged in already. I'm using the short straps, right, because we have brackets to hook to. So it's as simple as clipping in. You can do the same kind of thing on your roof rack, right? And it doesn't need it here, but this is where the padding is going to protect your paint. Right, so we're cinched in here. I'll go out and now I'll show you the stakes and how to hook in our lever lock poles. So the Oasis is 50 inches tall. It's perfect for this demo because we have everything right here so we can look at it. So when you're putting your pole in, you put your pole through the hypalon, and then the ring goes through that, and then you're ready to get it angled off your vehicle. Find your stake strap, right, and then you cinch it in. So putting another blanket or even another adapter shade panel on the sides or the long sides of your adapter shade panel, what you do is you take this apart, right? You take your thermoshield, that goes on first. That goes through there. Then you stack this one right back on top. Then I like to clip in. Again, that gets me started, right? This snap is going to line up with that snap. But what I do is I hook both ends first, right? Because this is under tension, and you want to make sure that this is under tension as well when you attach it. Let's go up to the vehicle end and I'll show you the detail there. So there's some key features here on the vehicle end that work to keep things under tension, because there's not a snap out there that will hold up with all the wind and the different pulling forces as you tie into the ground or tie into another vehicle. So the smart clip from your thermoshield goes in the smart clip retainer, right? That keeps it from all the forces this way, right, when you tie your strap to the ground. You also need to control the forces going this way, and I'll show you what that means once we get it hooked up. But what I do is, you can see here, I have our short strap hooked up. I keep it hooked here, right? I bring it through the thermoshield, right? It goes through, we call it the little doghouse right there. So it goes through that. It comes through here, whatever your anchor point was, and then ties back in. And then gets cinched that in. So what you've done now is you have taken care of that force, right? You snap these two together, but you've also taken care of this force, right? Because look at these snaps. Unless you're under pressure, you want to keep these snaps kind of lined up. When you do those two steps, both snaps line up. And then you work down your line, snapping things in. Right? This is an expedient shelter. It's not designed for, obviously, there's a gap here. We're working with snaps, and it's not designed for anything permanent, but it really works well for a wind wall, a rainstorm when you do it like this, because it is waterproof. And of course, it's 100% UV proof, right? So that's a quick way how to adjust or how to attach another thermoshield to this. So I want to show you how our patented smart clip works. It's a really handy no knot device. Works really well at night or when your hands are freezing cold. But it grabs small bungee and 550 cord. I'll show you. Here's a stake. I've got some bungee cord staged, right? So it just works good by coming around. It grabs it. And then I like using bungee because it flexes in the wind but still keeps things taut. Here's how it works with 550 cord. So I'll just put a little bit on. What I like to do is I go through the first, that takes up tension, I go around the second, and then you see the teeth, that locks it in right there. Now that's not coming apart. That's a good solid anchor mount. The stake's moving before any of this stuff is. That's how you use our smart clips. Now I'm going to show you our smart clip adapter. I want to show you how it works, and this is just another tool in your toolbox for fixing your thermoshields and your adapter shade panel in out of the box situations. Maybe something's too far away, maybe you're hooking to another vehicle that's further than your straps will reach, right? So what it does here, you can put this in any one of the corners of your adapter shade panel. It has the male side release buckle, right? And then it's just the same as the little demo down there. So you capture the first row, right? I take up tension, get your setup nice and tight. Now to hold that tension, one wrap around, right? And then you come in around there, capture both teeth. That's a solid setup. I'm going to show you how to stack components with your adapter shade panel. We already have one thermoshield hooked to it. That's going to give us a wind wall or a shade wall depending on what you have going on. We have our adapter shade panel here hooked to the Oasis. And just for a fun example, I'm going to show you what happens when you hook another adapter shade panel to it. So I'll hook both pole ends to each other, and that will give us 20 feet between maybe two vehicles, two Jeeps at a camp, etc. And what you do, you just want to make sure that you run your pole tip through your hypalon. So you take that apart, and it's hypalon ring through here, right? That goes through, you stack that, and then you just stack that. Put your pole back up. Now you just come across and do the same thing on the other side. So we're just having fun with it, and here's an out-of-the-box shelter that we put up, from where the wind was coming and where the sun was. But this shows you what you can make in a few minutes, depending on your situation at hand. All that is one thermoshield attached to an adapter shade panel, and then I've got another adapter shade panel coming off the back, which could easily be another thermoshield. That's how they're designed, because it's basically 6 foot or 72 inches across the pole end, and it's 10 foot along the long end. But you come on under here, Mark, you kind of see, and granted, we started from a 50-inch side on here with the Oasis, but this is a big area, and it takes up 2 of these panels, whether it's a adapter shade panel and another thermoshield. It takes up very little room in your rig and gives you a lot of protection when things go bad or when they don't, and just a lot of opportunity.